Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, so good. You know, I'm really looking forward to tonight's wisdom and what comes through. Venus just went retrograde. Honestly, I say we do some readings on Venus retrograde and see kind of what's coming up cuz I know let's just do some readings. I was gonna say I know for me, but I feel like let's just do some readings on Venus retrograde. Let's see what Venus retrograde. Oh, intuitive steps with your cash money. Interesting. I felt like a grounding physically when that happened. It's like a physical grounding. Intuitive steps with your money. So this is gonna be for Venus retrograde. Intuitive steps with the money. If you have a plan, go through with it. If you have a plan, go through with it. There's something that Spirit put on me like a couple of months ago when I was preparing for Venus retrograde and like starting to get information to the collective spaces that I hold space for on the internet online. And the vision that Spirit gave to me for Venus retrograde was this like cloud of smoke. This is at the end of Venus retrograde. It's like, well, kind of at the beginning too. It's like this cloud of smoke that the feminine has had to battle through and fight through and crawl out of. And during this Venus retrograde, we're like finally coming out of the fight that we've been in for a long time. We're finally, the feminine energy, the mother energies, we're finally getting out of the cloud of smoke of the battle and the blindness and the toughness and the hardness. We've been through a lot with, okay. And astrologically, we've been through a lot when it comes to Venus over the previous couple of years. Venus was retrograde in July of 2023, pre Venus ruling over the South Node. That was like our preparation for the Libra South Node was a Venus retrograde. And then we went through the Venus ruling over the South Node with Venus direct, which was crazy intense work of justice and clearing and balance after the South Node in Scorpio. It was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. Hey ho, that was a lot. And then and then we go from that, that was crazy. We went from that into the dark moon being in Libra. Okay, thanks Spirit for the hoot and holler, I guess, because like how else are you supposed to handle that? Hello to you too. Yeah, that was a crazy ride. And then now coming into this season, we've got some things finally rearranging. With the Venus retrograde, we're like getting unshifted from all of this Venus energy we've been working in for a year and a half, which again, a lot. And then we also have the dark moon shifting into Scorpio. So that's changing. So we have the light and the dark feminine that are making shifts and like giving us gifts at the same time. And we're in an eclipse season, which is like, first of all, enough by itself, it took more than 20 years to find this person. Oh, well, then let it be. That sounds beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. Oh, that's so good. Wow. Yeah. So it's been a while. It's been a while that we've been working and working and working in the feminine and working on balancing the mother and working to bring justice for the mother and working for the feminine justice and working. And now finally we get to like actually receive some of the rewards from it. We get to receive some of the rewards and we get to rest and we get to reallocate and re-enlist maybe some things too. It's like rediscover some things, re-uncover some things, maybe some dreams we forgot about. It is. This Venus retrograde has me on fire. I feel very like assured of myself in this Venus retrograde. I feel very like, yeah, I've got it actually. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I know what I want. I know what I need to do to get there. So like just let me carry on. That's really how I feel recently. Especially Venus went retrograde and it was like immediately my body and my womb started to clear, not necessarily physically, but like energetically, like my body. And I've started getting, since the Venus retrograde, I was like, listen, to rest and recover, I cannot drink coffee right now. I will not be doing caffeine. I need to rest and recover from that, and take I to you too. And you know what? In the build back up of losing everything, may you be able to receive everything that you want, because that's a hard place to be in. That's true. I felt something crazy like that too. Yeah, like the body shifts. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, the body shifts. It's like how do I say? It's like everything that I've been carrying. I guess I didn't really realize how much I've been carrying since Venus was retrograde previously. Again, July 2023. And so that retrograde was really hard. Like really, really hard. That Venus retrograde played more than one card against me. That is what that Venus retrograde was. It was difficult. It was difficult. It was difficult. It was difficult. And so, also someone asked if I'm reading for free. I'm doing collectives for free. There's also a personal list open on the website if you want to get on the list. Yes. But if not, I have, room and space for the collective until we have people start to come in for that. Yeah. It is. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was a tough Venus retrograde. And it was like, how do I say this? Not only was it a tough Venus retrograde in 2023, it was a retrograde that was like, it felt like for me, and maybe this is different for other people's stories. I was coming out of a chapter of enemies, though. So I guess that's discern for yourself kind of where you were at. I was coming out of a chapter of enemies, and it was kind of like the final moments of those enemies being around and final moments of those enemies like it is yeah. So what else do we need to see? I had a massive crash out. Oh, it's going to be quite a month. I definitely, the first day of Venus retrograde for me, what did I do? This is the first weekend, this previous weekend. This is the first weekend I've taken both days off in like months, like 6 or 7 months probably. So I think this Venus retrograde is going to be for me recovery and working at both at the same time. It's like recovery and recovering and working. Welcome to the live, then. Welcome in. I've been wanting to go live more often recently. Spirit's been calling me back into my live streams recently, so it's hard, and you still did it. I sure did. Oh, golly. And I'm so grateful to be not where I was. I'm so grateful to be not where I was, Yeah, the list is open. Super cool. Super cool. For people who are wondering, if you go to the website and this is for TikTok. On YouTube, it's linked below. But if you go to this for TikTok, you go to the website, you go to the menu, Astrology and Magic, and the readings, the live stream readings. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah. Transformation over here. My Saturn return is ending. Oh, congratulations. I'm headed into my Saturn return. So congrats on the work, Congrats on the work. Congrats. Yeah, it takes time to how do I say? Just be in a Saturn return. I sat down and got some things together for my Saturn return. It's already started technically, but yeah, girl. So good. It has been sort of a crazy day, to be honest. I hope it's been a good kind of crazy because there's lots of kind of crazy in the world. That's true. Let's look at a little bit more of our collective messages, collective energies, and see what's up. I made that strong. That's good. I made that strong. That's good. Oh my goodness. It's cacao. It's hot cacao with some honey. And what else is in there? There's kava, maca root, kava root, ashwagandha root. Oh, what's the other one? And a holy basil. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever made that mixture. So it's like so good. It deserves more than a kiss. That was really delicious. Hold on. My drinks don't miss. It's like I used to be a bartender and in mixology. That's what I did my career right before I started doing this on live, or right before I started doing this energy, what I do now, And so I still have the wisdom of that. And somebody just sent through, hello to you. Yeah, I still have the wisdom of my bartending and mixology and all of that good stuff. So I've started to apply it to herbal things and tinctures. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'll have to get a list together. I have to get a list together. So good. I'm fasting and I see you drink coffee. Makes me want to drink some so bad. Definitely not coffee. I'm taking a break from coffee. But you know what? The fasting, I hear you. I'm fasting from coffee. So I understand. Oh my goodness. Currently a Saturn return doula for a friend. Oh wow. Yeah, return. Wow. Non-alcoholic world of drinks is so underrated, honestly, though. A medicinal, I really want to create, let's talk about it then, Spirit, apparently. I really want to create a medicinal herbal mixture menu. I don't know if that's the exact words, but basically, like, put together a spell book basically for drinks, but it tastes really good at the same time. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Uh-huh, uh-huh. The one that sent in, I'm pretty sure this is for Aaron. I'm pretty sure this is for Aaron. It's for maybe not though. For Jason. I'm pretty sure this is the one that Aaron. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Am I on the right track? I feel so different since I moved. And you just had. So this is gonna be a personal reading. This personal reading is also over on YouTube, just for everybody who's over in the TikTok comments who's wondering about that. Uh, Interesting. Am I on the right track? I feel so different since I moved. And it's interesting. The first thing that came into my head is like, there's a whole new world that you're living in. There's a new house that you're living in. You're practicing new magic. There's something else, before I got on stream. Okay, this is going to be kind of I heard a stream of consciousness, but I feel like I need to talk about it. This for Aaron's reading. It's relative. I don't know why or where, but we're going to get there together. Okay. So right before I got on stream, I was thinking about, and I could feel it in my energy. I was like, something unpredictable, something unpredictable. And Spirit's been telling me for months now, something unpredictable. Like, not everything can be predicted. Not everything can be scripted. Hello, we live in a world where things are unpredictable, a little bit crazy. Pluto's in Aquarius. Are we still in Aquarius season? We're still in Aquarius season. Yeah, no, we're not. We're in Pisces season. We in Pisces? Yeah, we're in Pisces season. Wow, I really had to think about that. Yeah, we're in Pisces season, but the Aquarius energy is like, it's unpredictable, unscriptable, something unpredictable. Spirit's preparing a lot of people right now, but Spirit's preparing you, Aaron. Spirit's in having you prepare 3 months. Hold on, let me look at the calendar. 3 months. 3 months, I hear you receive one of your wants. What do you want? 3 months, you receive one of your wants. Here's one of your wants. Maybe something you've been asking for. You're not supposed to do anything extra though. It's just like keep going on what you're already doing. Receive one of your wants. And there's also too taking time to sit and like rest about things right now is really important. It's like really important. Having like you're like doing more and things are different, but you're also needing to sit and think about things and like connect the dots, collect. I heard collect. It's like collect. If you can collect the information, sit and think about things and collect, then you'll be able to direct. It's very much the Queen of Wands energy where they just like sit around and think about stuff and create stuff at the same time. Look at me trying to put the words together too. Okay, interesting. I'm resting. I feel that. Let me look at 3 months. 3 months. March, April, May. Well, it would be April because that's a month from now. April, May, June. So what's today? June 3rd? June 3rd? Ooh, that's a first quarter moon in Virgo is what that is. Ooh. Ooh. And we've got the eclipse in Virgo. Okay, so for the upcoming moon in Virgo, then really pay attention to what's coming up. Really pay like it's gonna be a lot of information. Mercury is about to go retrograde right after that eclipse. Plus, it's an eclipse. There's a lot. There's a lot that's happening with Mercury things. Um, Check out your Mercury strings. What in your chart is Mercury connected? If you need me to bring that up, I don't have your birth chart information, but you can message me because you're on element too. Yeah. So if you want to bring that up into the reading, we can do that. Just message me on the group chat, but the individual chat space in place, and we can bring that up. But the Mercury strings, we don't need to do it if you don't want to go into it. It's totally fine. But Mercury strings, the full moon in Virgo is going to have like a lot of information, Write things down if you need to. That's going to be a day if you're able to just sit and rest and not really do anything for a couple of days around that time. March 14th. Yep. So like that Thursday and Friday or Friday and Saturday, probably Thursday and Friday. If you're able to have time that Thursday and Friday, next Thursday and Friday, oh my gosh, we're so close to the eclipses. That's kind of crazy. That's crazy to think about that we're so close to the eclipses. It is what it is. We're here, guys. We made it. A new chapter, new season. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. I see it. Hold on. Let me go and put this in. Let me go and put the information in. Hey, thanks. So I got a question for personal readings. I'm doing live stream readings right now. Those ones are listed on the website. The private readings, because I've gotten a couple of questions about private readings so far. The only private sessions I'm doing from here on are going to be people who I'm working with in the consultation initiation process and within the initiation process. Those are the only people that I'm meeting with. So if you're interested in that and you feel called to that, if you have a practice that you've been working in for years now, and that's something that you feel called to reach out to me for, there's a link on the website. And there's like a form that you fill out. There's a lot of questions, but I wanted to be thorough. So yeah, so those are the only private sessions I'm doing right now. So if you're interested in a reading, this is the place to sit with it, unless it is, of course, that you're going to be in the private consultation space with me. But that will be based on situation to situation, person to person, and kind of like a case by case basis. Not everyone who reaches out to me for that I'm gonna receive, and not everyone are like fully received because I'll still receive the email and the introduction. But there's some people that I may not necessarily be working with for what it is. There may be some people I'm working with. It just might take me a couple months to get back to them. It just kind of depends. The work is different. Different, new, something true. That's true. Okay. Let me go and get Aaron's. Thanks for the patience, Aaron. Well, I also explained that, chatted about it. Let me get your birthday in here because we need to look at your Mercury and we got to look at your Virgo. You got some stuff coming up, so let's check it out. Yeah, that also requires I just got to stare at the screen for a moment. Me and multitasking are it's not the easiest. It's all good. Thanks. Okay. Do you know your birthplace also? If you do, that will be helpful. I hope you do. I feel like in this day and age, that's a pretty common thing. But that's the other thing that I need. Beautiful. You're already on it. I can see you. I can see you in the chat. So good, so good, so good. Oh, no, I'm not doing currently right now. I'm also not doing any astrology readings, which I laughed at myself. I'm good. How are you? Hello, hi. I laughed at myself. I was like, "You're an astrologer, not doing astrology readings." I need a break from astrology readings. I did like in-depth astrology readings for months and months. And I need to rest from it. And I'm going to be doing just channelings for a little bit. Channelings, I might go back to it eventually. I kind of do that where I balance things kind of a couple months at a time. So yeah, it was a lot of astrology, and I do astrology also every day. So yeah, they may come up again. They probably will at some point. But currently, I need to sit more with spirit. So yeah, that's what it is, at least in the readings. Okay, beautiful. With the duh on there too. You're funny. Okay, here we go. Let me get it set up. Mercury. You have a Gemini rising. Okay. You have an IC in Virgo. Where's your Mercury? Mercury. Oh, you have a Mercury in Aquarius. You have a Mercury in Aquarius, and you got a Venus in Aquarius, and it's a Venus retrograde. Okay. Interesting. Let me look over your other placements then. There's a Saturn and oh, okay. Where's your Uranus? Oh, Scorpio? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Unpredictable, unpredictability, unpredictable, unscriptable, unpredictable, unscriptable. I don't know if you heard that. There's someone yelling outside. Let me let her rest. Okay. Yes. Interesting. Okay, so what else do we need to see about this then, Spirit? Unpredictable. Unpredictable. Some things are not scriptable, unpredictable. It's interesting to me that the South Node's in Virgo, your fourth house is Virgo, you just moved into a new place, and the South Node has basically just entered your 4th house, so, like, the house of the home. Hmm. And unpredictable there's gonna be some different, because then your Mercury in Aquarius is what rules that? Oh, interesting. You oh, huh. You signed a new contract, right? Like a new are you renting? Are you owning? Whatever it is that you're doing, you signed a new contract. Mercury in Aquarius is in your 8th house, and your Uranus retrograde of Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the 8th house, so there's some kind of while you're living there. Inheritance, it's going to be unpredictable. It's coming from the unpredictabilities. That full moon in Virgo is going to help to illuminate. This is like in the coming years, but also like long term, however long that you're going to live there. It'll also illuminate kind of the fundamental of how those placements work, like the unpredictability in the home and what it brings to you and why it brings it to you. The other part of this is that you have a Gemini rising. So anything of that information that you're able to actually communicate is going to help to usher in newness. Yeah, it's going to help to usher in newness. It's going to, sorry, there's like, it's nighttime and there's noises, and I just like to be aware. You know what I mean? That time is a helicopter. It is what it is. Anyways, so yeah, it'll help to bring in newness. You also have some interesting crossovers when it comes to Mars and Saturn and the way that they're working with the transits right now. So you're going to need to be pretty detail oriented. Also, there could be some things that are gonna change. You might start working from home, honestly. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do for work, but you might like working for home for you. A lot of the times 8th house placements are like you have the business or you have the vehicle to make money. It's not somebody else's. Yes, I will be. There you go. Okay. Unpredictabilities then. There could be unpredictable. Okay. Oh, let me bring the cards out. Hold on. You're not the high priestess yet, but hold on, there's other cards. You're not the high priestess yet, but how high can you get? That's what I am hearing. It's like you're not the high priestess yet, but how high can you get? You're not the high priestess yet, but how high can you get? What is it that you need to receive? Something of the past that you need to leave. Don't you think all the hardships you've been through are going to offer you the tools? All the hardship, it's like, don't you think that all the hardship, this is what I'm hearing about it. Don't you think all the hardships that you've been through are gonna offer you the tools? There's some things that are like, not that you're avoiding them, but there's like things that you've gone through where you're like, God, that sucks. And like, why did that have to happen? Maybe why isn't the question, but it's just this like you don't want to give it your eye, and you're like, I don't even want to look at that. I don't even, it doesn't need to be a part of my story, but it was. It doesn't need to be a part of who I am, but it was. It doesn't need to be, but it was. There hasn't really been any questions or any direction around it. And in the coming kind of year and a half, there's going to be some things that start to make you laugh about what you've been through, where okay, why did you take the spiritual bath? That's something that you need to sit with. That's not an answer I need to hear or that needs to be shared here. But why did you take it? There is a reason that you took it. There's a reason that you said, yes, I will do this. I'm gonna undertake this. I'm gonna sit in this. I'm gonna discover this. I'm gonna create this. And let me read this. Hold on. Starting to know. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's gorgeous, is what that is. So there's gonna be some things. How do I say this? Why you took that spiritual bath one day is gonna make you laugh. You're like, "Oh, yeah, of course I was supposed to be that. I didn't know it at the time, but, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do that. Oh, yeah." It's very, I feel your energy, like, it's a lot lighter. Maybe I'm feeling lighter today too. Maybe that's true. It's very, like, the flowers how do I say this? Let me bring more cards out. Hold on. There's gonna be when you get to the summer heat, okay, really listen, apparently, goodness. The this lighter, yeah. When you get to the summer heat, there's gonna be a reason that you need to I see you up in the house moving around. It's like not so much sitting and listening. You're like the heat is like activating you to get up and do stuff. Get up and do stuff. Get up and do stuff. Get up and work. Get up and create. Get up and make. Get up, get up, get up. There's like get up energy. And it's like even when you sit down, you get uncomfortable uncomfortable a little bit and you're like, I don't even want to keep going, but I guess I feel like I need to. So there's going to be more like May time is when that's going to pick up a little bit when you're listening to over it's like listening to the script is what I hear. Listening to the script over the next couple of months. It's like, what does spirit need you to do? What do you feel like you need to do? What's the direction? What's the plan? What's the strategy? What is it? What is it? The what questions? The questions, it's like transference also of where you've been to where you are. There's new things happening. You're getting used to your home. So when it comes, because what you asked if you're on the right path, right? That was the question. No, let me go back. Feels so different. Feeling different's a little bit uncomfortable, huh? Yeah, I understand that. I'm also gonna try to start the weight loss journey too. Good for you. Good for you. You know, sometimes that's hard work to do. So good for you. It takes time. It takes time. It takes consistency. But honestly, if you're able to do it for yourself, go do it for yourself. That's true. That's true. It'll help to connect. You have a Neptune and Sagittarius. It'll help to connect your head and spiritual practices to the workouts. However, you might need to do that. Head and spiritual practices. So it could be like speaking over yourself, like, oh, yes, I can do this. I know that sounds so simple, but it might work. It might be helpful. Yes, I can do this. Or like, yes, I am, whatever it is that you're looking for in the weight loss journey. Like, yes, I do feel good. Or like, yes, it is that I can look in the mirror and like, however you might want to feel about yourself. Like, yes, I can do that. However, and why ever, there's a lot of different reasons that people would go on weight loss journeys, like health oriented, feeling better, confident about themselves, you know, feeling good, looking good kind of thing. So it depends on why you're sitting in that journey. And also, there's probably going to be a lot for you to sit in when it comes to the crossover of your mental and spiritual practices with that. I don't know how it's going to work for you or like what that skill is going to bring through, but there's a lot that can cross over because that's a part of your chart. You have a Neptune and Sagittarius in the 6th house. Yeah, it's also going to help you let go of stuff. So if you need to sit in clearings, it'll be helpful to get up and move around. I said something to myself in the mirror today, and it's health and physical, mental. Ha ha ha. So you're already doing it. So good. Okay, let me pull through. I'm going to pull through some cards of. I was honestly surprised to have a reading come through for you because I feel like so much that you're already doing. But let's say I want to pull through some directional kind of order stuff to see if there's anything that needs to be changed or altered. That was different. Fire. There's already right now a course that you're on, and this right now, you're not in the forcing energy. Sometimes we need to force things. You're not in the forcing energy. Sit with the mothers. 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 Did you do the goddess work? Did you do the honoring of the goddess at the close of the cycle? Was that a part of the work that you were communing with? Yes, beautiful. Okay, well, sit and talk to the moms. Sit and talk to the moms. Sit with the moms. Who's around you mother-wise? Is there a, mother of love that's around you? Sometimes I literally will just sit and say, like I'll talk to the mothers. Thank you, mother of love. Thank you, mother of justice. Or sometimes it's more than thank you. Sometimes I'll sit and like actually talk with them or sit with them and learn from them. Right now it's not about like doing a lot or like brewing a lot or even like being a lot. Really, you're meant to like sit and receive. You're meant to sit and understand. And that is a lot of the mother's helping hand. It's a lot of the mothers coming through to offer to you, to bring new through. Also, if you feel like you're being birthed into a new home, you're being birthed into this new practice, you're being birthed into things, there's a new like cycle starting, right? So that is also mother oriented. And the work that we did is also connected to the moon. The Coven's space was connected to the moon, or it is it is, and the work that we did was and will continue to be connected to the moon. Also interesting because we did that new moon work on the new moon in Aquarius, and I don't know the exact degree that it was at, but both of your Aquarius placements are in the 8th house. So from that, something you're inheriting. I don't know what it is, but you're going to be inheriting something from that, some sort of maybe financial proposition or other inheritance. I don't know what you asked for exactly, and it may not be my business to understand what you asked for exactly. There's going to be some sort of inheritance. And a lot of the times when we are asked to sit and rest and digest, like this part of the journey that you're in right now, and the mothers are around you, they're bringing you the information so that you can be ready for when you do need to get up and work. It's like, okay, I need to sit and understand, what kind of spirit do I have? What kind of spirit am I sitting in? How am I relating to the spirits? Am I sitting in shame if I'm doing that? Why am I doing that? Do I feel comfortable with that? Do I even really like shame? I had to do that earlier today with fear. I've been working with my relationship with fear for a long time, and I had to sit with fear earlier and basically just be like, it's okay to be afraid. Just sit with the fear then. Just sit in the fear. Sit with the fear, sit in the fear. You can't run from it. You have to sit in it. And to myself, I was talking that way. Yeah, you can't run from it. You have to sit in it. You have to embrace it. You have to love it, because wouldn't you want fear to love you? Wouldn't it be easier if fear loved you too? Like, it doesn't have to be difficult and hard. So like, having the mothers come through and bring that sort of surrounding energy, it's like an energetic transference. It's almost, I see them coming through and like helping you. It's like bringing more in and shuffling things down, maybe with your cards too, if you have any, shuffling things down. Just sit and talk with them, however it is that you need to. And if you don't have like a very perceptive spiritual ear yet to be able to discern like what is the mothers and what is not, then bring in like a tarot deck or some kind of divination tool to help, because that will be like a helpful grounding. You could also dedicate a tarot deck to the mothers if you wanted to, if that's something that you're interested in, or like a divination tool or something. You could do that. I have lots of cards and kinds of stuff. I feel like there may be some other information that we need to bring through. Let me say hello to you too. Hi. So good. Let's see. Lunyo. To Rice Cast, am I going to be doing readings tomorrow? I may not be. At this point, I don't know. I did just open up on the Coven support and community organization group chat. I just put up a live stream update room so that you can get updates on when I'm going live. It's like Discord, except I don't really like and or trust a Discord. So we're on a Web3 app for the group space that I am a host of. Yeah, but it's linked in the bio if you're interested in those updates for sure. Wunyo grounding. Not just Wunyo. This is different. How is it different? Why is it different? Take a break. Take a break. Can you take a break? Do you have time to take a break? Take a break. 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 If you need to take a break, take a break. Take a break. Take a break. I feel that so strongly in my spirit right now. If you need to take a break, take a break. Take a break, take a break, take a break. Sometimes we can only muster up so much. Like, I've been trying to, go take a break. Go take time off. Take like 5 days off. If you can't, 3 to 5 days, if you can have that luxury of just sitting around and doing nothing for 3 to 5 days, if you have the luxury of being able to do that, go do that for yourself. If you have the time and the capability and the ability to, because some people don't. And also, if you're in a position right now where that's possible, go and do that for yourself. You need to sit around and you need to do nothing, and not nothing. Sit and think, sit and just receive, sit and understand. Sometimes we can't, especially if we're sitting with the mother energies, especially if we're sitting with the goddesses and the goddess energy that's around us, we are not able to, like, how do I say this? I'm looking stressed about it. That's how I look right now. Sometimes we can't receive the energy that they're trying to bring to us until we sit our little butts down and don't move. And we sit there for an hour or two. And then they're like, okay, you're still enough to receive this. Okay, you're still enough to receive this. So now imagine 3 or 5 days of just sitting around and receiving stuff, how deep they're going to be able to get the wisdoms to you. So it's like, you need some time to just sit around and do nothing. Sit around. And one of the things that I've been doing in my sitting around and doing nothing for myself is I just let the dishes pile up. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get up and I'm not going to do them right now. Right now, I'm in service to my rest. Right now, I'm in service to me being able to rest. So that means I get to leave the dishes because they just get to sit there. They're done. they're done. They're done. They're done. They're not going through the activation of getting cleansed right now, because right now they're done. I don't need to do the dishes currently. So making sure that even those like small little household tasks, if you're able to put them down for a couple of days or several days, like your body needs that, your mind needs it. There's a lot of change that's happening. You've got to readjust to some things. There's also some trust that's coming through for you that'll be a little bit trust. It's like trusting yourself, trusting your path, trusting your path, trusting your path, trusting your path, trusting your path. There's also going to be what I hear is another thing of like, whenever you feel like you need to go be creative with your craft, go and do that. Being creative with your craft, whether that's, lighting a candle, bringing in different herbs, however it is that you feel like. I feel like I may have already said this in another reading for you, but I feel like I'm going to say it right now. Anyways, I'm going to repeat myself if I already said it. If not, then here we are for the first time. Bring in just being creative with different things. It's like tiny little experiments. Sometimes at the beginning of a craft, if we don't really have anyone to learn from in the physical, like there's not someone with you there, right there all the time, then which would be like you being raised up by your mom. So, it is what it is. So if you don't have that experience, then similarly understood, then being able to just go and be creative. It's like a little tiny experiment pot, 11:11 on the clock. It's a tiny little experiment pot. Okay, what if I do this? What happens if I do this? What happens if I put these things together? There was something that I did recently where I didn't really understand like what I was doing or why I was doing it. A lot of the magic that I learn is just like I do it and then spirit explains to me later why I did it. That's a lot of the magic. My magic's always been like that ever since I was a kid. It's like I'll do it because I didn't grow up with elders around me who knew what magic really was or how to explain it to me or my practice or any of that. I grew up in a very different way. We'll leave that for another day. So when I was growing up and I was practicing magic, I would go and practice it, and then nobody ever explained it to me. And I didn't have like the internet to look stuff up at the age of like 3, 4, and 5. I was in the era of plug it in old computers. So I didn't have the capability at such a young age to like go and do that, or a young stage of my life to go and do that. But now that I'm older and we do have, the internet right here, then there are some times where I go through and I'll like, how do I say? I'll go through and I'll practice something, and then spirit will have me either like right after or a couple of weeks later, whenever it's relevant for me to understand what I did, spirit will let me know this is like what you're practicing or the order of what you're practicing. This is why you're practicing. This is like where this comes from. This is a relative relation in this tradition of where this comes from. It's like, here's some information about it, and spirit will throw me the information and I'll catch it, spirit will toss it over and I'll catch it and be like, oh, interesting. Didn't know that. Now I do. So that's something that is starting to come through. But to be able to receive this is what the magic means, you have to practice it first. That's how the order is set up for you. So if you go practice it, an experiment pot. An experiment pot, and start to experiment a lot. Experiment pot, put together an experiment pot and experiment a lot, because once you start experimenting offers experience. And once you have the experience, do that consistently for like 6 to 9 months. And you're going to be like, wow, I've actually really grown as a practitioner. Wow, I've actually grown like a bone as a practitioner. It's like now there's this growth and there's strength and there's like a life force behind it, instead of it being like, how do I say? It's like the image I'm getting is like a baby in the womb. I don't know when the bones grow, but that's like, it's like, when do the bones grow? Maybe I need to look that up. Hold on. Let's go on a little adventure together. When do the bones grow? During pregnancy. I don't know this. I'm interested. Thanks, Spirit. When do the bones grow? Yeah. When do the bones grow? When do the bones grow? As early as 8 weeks? Curious. 8 weeks, 10 weeks, bone tissue forms and begins to harden. 13 weeks, bones begin to harden, especially the long bones. 16 weeks, the baby can move their limbs. Crazy. That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, growing the bones. And also too, what I say, 6 to 9 months. So like going through some kind of birthing process of the self is what that sounds like. And the thing about life, when we birth it, we don't know what we're going to look like until we're born. We don't know in the sense of birthing ourselves. We don't, and you don't know what a seedling is going to look like until it sprouts up from the ground. Even if you're familiar with that kind of plant, you can't see it till it pops up. So you may not know what kind of practitioner you're going to be until you pop out, Yeah. So let it be. Let it be. So let it be. That's what I have. Do you have questions for me? Let it be, And also something, hold on, let me back it up. There's one more thing before we finish, before we close out. If you're working with that sort of like practice of pregnancy magic, then everything that you're doing to nurture yourself right now, to birth yourself as a practitioner, makes sense why the mothers would be around you too. Everything you're doing right now in that practice of pregnancy for yourself, of like your future and birthing you, that's going to make sure that when you are birthed, everything you're doing is like setting up the order for you to have that practice. Everything you're doing it's like why people who are pregnant can't do certain things is because like it is what it is. Having there be certain things that pregnant people are like not supposed to do. It's not supposed to be imbued into the child for certain reasons, depending upon what that thing is or what the spirit is, things of that nature. To set up like good health for the baby and good health for the future of those things. So it's similar to the process of birthing oneself into a practice. We have to remember that like we're in that nurturing phase. So if you're in that nurturing phase right now, then however you're nurturing yourself, that's how you're going to grow. And that's also going to help to determine like who are you on the other side, what's going to be born out of that. So it's another thing to think about and maybe like just, sift through it, work through it, sift through it. Yeah. You have any questions? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to check to see if there's any other people who have sent through for a reading. If not, then we're going to go back and we're going to do some more collective stuff. But if there has been one, then we'll sit with that person. Yes. Makes a lot of sense. I need to journal a lot. You know what? Sometimes writing down, Emma sent through, hello, Emma, that sometimes writing things down helps it's called scrying. If you connect with the spirits, if you connect with the spirits, also, is it, are you Emma? Well, Emma, send me a message in the chat, please and thanks. Yes, please and thanks. But yeah, that's called scrying. There's other names for it too, but that's something that even to this day, when I sit down and write, sometimes the spirits will have me write certain things, and I've started to be able to, through the years, discern what spirit is sitting with me and who is offering the messages to me. That's something that is helpful, especially with a Mercury that's in Aquarius, and then you have let me go back to your chart. Oh yeah, writing for you have a Neptune in the 6th house. Write some stuff down. Write your thoughts down. There's more information. Write your thoughts down. You're going to have I heard a deliberation. Yeah. Interesting. Just Aries things. Yes. Heard. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. All right, Aaron. So yes, are you on the right path? I have lots of journals, lots. That's good. Okay. Do you feel comprehensive about, is YouTube or TikTok, whichever you prefer is good for me. Yeah, whichever you prefer is good for me. You feel yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I'll leave it at that then. All right, so let me wrap that one up then on the back end of things. And then let me go through. Beautiful. Thank you for the clear communication, Yeah. Oh my goodness. Advice for someone going through their nodal opposition. Enjoy the complete and total life flip. I just am getting out of mine. That's my advice. Embrace things being very different on the other side, very different in a very familiar way. It's like your dreams your dreams and your goals and your directions get flipped on their head so that it can be bigger in the future, and it's going to take more time. Yeah. So things go really unexpected, but it sets you up for things to be even stronger in the future. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Let me read this. Let me read it. Let me put it together. No. Ooh, Ooh, and with the black heart, that's good. Mhm. Mhm. Mm. Oh, I adore you too. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Okay, good. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I just want to double check that it's just Aries things. That's Emma, yes. I'm pretty sure that's the truth, but I just want to double check because I normally don't start that conversation. I'm gonna switch to TikTok. Okay, beautiful. Uh, I don't normally. Let me know when you're on TikTok. Let me know when you're over there, and then we can start. Then we can start. Yeah. Also, understood. Understood. Aries Sun, and Scorpio rising. Interesting. 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 You know, I'm a Scorpio Sun, so I have lots to say about Scorpio energy. Yeah. There's a couple of decks that I read with Zoe, the Zoe cat, the cat. What is your username again? The Zoe cat? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Wiggles. Hold on. Uh, whenever Emma gets switched over, we're gonna start the reading. Whenever Emma gets switched over, we'll start the reading. But yeah. Yeah, I'm on TikTok and YouTube right now. But yeah, the Nordic deck. So this one is a deck that I made actually. This is my personal deck. It's available on the website if you wanted to go and purchase one for yourself. It's through like the back end vendor. I don't have it set up to purchase it on the website, but you can go to the back end vendor and buy it from them. You can buy multiple copies if you wanted to, but yes, there's that one. I also have the other one that I made too is the deck of fate. It's a tarot deck that's connected to the crossings of the knot of weird. Is pretty interesting. Like if you're somebody who practices with the knot of weird, it's a pretty freaking cool deck. So just saying, I did a pretty good job with that one. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just Aries things. There we go. Okay. No, that's okay. I hear. So sorry. Hi. So good. Thanks for letting me go off in the direction too. Okay. So that's good. Now that we're over there and where everything is good and everything is lined up, let's get it started. Let's get it started. Mhm. 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 I feel like what do we need to do? Just air things for Emma. Mm. Snaps? Okay, let's do it then. This one's gonna be direction order. Let me channel it. I gotta switch up my position. Lassa, you gotta get comfortable. We had to switch up there. I gotta switch up here. A switch up. It feels like there's about to be a switch up, or you're in the middle of a switch up. The switch up, switch up. There's a switch up going on. Switch up, switch up, switch up. It feels like the spirits are switching up around you too. What I see is like there's spirits around you that you're used to, and like how do I say this? And then all of a sudden it's like a switch up, and it's like there's new spirits around you. It's like there were these spirits around you. Switch up, it's gonna be different spirits around you. It's like what I see is it's like it's a different team playing for a different team or a different team around you. It's also like a different assignment. Interesting. A different assignment in the sense of like you've been on one like mission or path or trajectory for a while. It's not that your trajectory of like your dreams and your goals and aspirations is going to change. That's not what I'm feeling about this, but it's definitely that resonates. It just feels like it's like a have you ever played like a team sport? Because the image that I'm getting for this is like when I went into high school ball, I played soccer. So when I went and I didn't actually end up getting to play, but that's another story for another day, maybe not right now. But my team switched up. It was like in middle school we had a different club team, but then I played a year up and like my teams got switched around. So when I was playing in my 8th grade year, they were all playing high school and like I had to play for a different team. And so because of that, it's like different players, but it's same game, same goal, same, obviously we're there to win kind of thing, but it's different people, different spirits. And that's what it reminds me of is like you're still headed in the same direction. You're just working with a different set of spirits. It's like you're working with it's like a switch up. It's like literally everything got switched up. Everything got switched up. If you're used to working with plastic cups, now it's like glass and crystal. If you're used to working with ashtrays, now you have like, I don't know, it's like more sophistication there's a realization about more sophistication and having there be more sophistication. I see. Yeah. More sophistication in the practice. Okay, let me bring the cards in now. More sophistication. A switch up, switch up, switch up. Switch up, switch up. It's also in the future. I see you being able to point at people and be like, switch up. You're going through this so that you can point at people in the future and be like, you got to switch up, switch up, switch up. There's a reason for what you're going through. Do you know why? Of course, the answer's coming through as you ask. Beautiful. It's very like, OMG, I'm in the room and I wake up and it's a party and it's so bright. Ah. Oh, interesting. Have you been practicing any sort of like, is there anything that has changed in your practice recently? Because that's something I can't see. Is there anything that's changed in your practice recently that you feel like is like necessary information for me to know? Because it feels like there's things like the switch up didn't just come from nowhere, is what I'm hearing. It's like you were ready for a switch up. You were asking for a switch up. You're probably asking for things where a switch up was necessary, or asking for maybe slightly more solid, more offerings of just rosemary and herbs. So more offerings, if you're making more offerings and they're just okay, they're just more meditation and channeling, but loose structure. Even in loose structure, the how do I say? If you paid for a reading, I have not updated the list yet. So I see you. If you are in the system, in the back end system of the website, then when I update the readings after this reading, I got you. Yeah. So even just more offerings is going to activate the spirits more. Even just sitting and like working with different stuff is going to activate the spirits more. Okay. Because the reason that I asked is because there's the card of the gods came out. So it's like wisdom of the gods and the wisdom of the spirits. Maybe you just need different wisdoms for what it is you're working on right now. I feel like that's part of it. It's like what you're working in right now, you need different wisdoms than what you're used to. You may find in the coming months that your offerings are going to change, or like you may be called to start new practices even, or especially with the fact that we're in the North Node in Pisces. It's like elevating our spiritual practices, doing new things, getting uncomfortable, not really knowing what we're doing while we're doing it, but understanding that we need to do it to get to where we want to go. The North Node. Love you, North Node. It's a lot sometimes, though, to be up in that, like, up all the time. It's a lot. Occasionally. It's a lot. Let me pick this up. A lot of Pisces and Aries in my chart. Okay, yeah, so the next several months are going to be, like, power packed for you. Power packed. There's an eclipse in Aries coming up. Oh, power packed. You're not being attacked. Power packed. This is it's like the next couple of months are just this huge offering of energy. Here. That's what I see. Is this huge offering of energy. And then you're going to have a really, really full plate, or a really, really full room, or a really, really full, you even said it was like, it's a lot of bright light and or something like that. And all of that energy is coming in it's like, it has to imbue now because the transits don't support the imbuing of it later. So being imbued with it, having that energy put in, having that energy being offered it's right now, because you're going to need it in the future, but it can't ground in the future. It's got to ground right now. So even if you don't have like an explanation of like what you're going to do with it, or you don't have an explanation of why it's coming through, or you don't have an thank you spirit, you don't have an explanation of like what it is that even you're receiving, but you know you're receiving all this extra stuff, it's for a reason. You're leaving somewhere, you're hopping into a new place, you're leaving places that disgraced you, and you're hopping into places that actually are going to hold you sacred. It's a whole switch up. I also see that there's like friends or friend groups that you're like slowly, I heard, what does that word mean? Let me look it up before I say it, just to make sure that that's a word that is going to fit into that sentence. Dissemination. Friend group dissemination. Something about prophesation, dissemination. Your practice is not really for money, but your friends bring you honey. Interesting. For Lauren, the list is open. If you go to the website, there is in the menu, Astrology and Magick, and then there is a live stream reading link. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, it's like information dissemination. There's messages coming through about prophecy from you and for you, both within those friend group spaces, and they bring you honey. Those friends bring you honey. It's not about money. They bring you honey. They bring you honey, 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 honey. And there's going to be a time period where you don't see your friends as much, or like the social spaces and places you don't see. It's like a couple of months, kind of like right after eclipse season. I'm seeing like early summer, like May time. It's gonna be a little bit more like not rocky. I'm seeing like the earth and gravel. So it's gonna be more about like walking. I see your feet on like a trail. I see feet on like a hiking. It's like a hiking trail, like on a mountain. And not everybody's meant to climb with you, but you're going up there for a reason. Or maybe you're actually gonna go on a trip or a journey? You going up into a mountain? Because I see your feet. I don't really ever see people as like actions actual well, that's not true. Sometimes I do. But I see hiking boots on a trail, on like a on a dirt and gravel trail. And like I see the rocks getting kicked around. There's something about to ground for you. It's like spirits are gonna call you into something. Okay, spirit, thank you. There's a reason the spirits are switching up. It's to help get things ungrounded. You got to shake some things up a little bit. Something's got to get shaken out. Room needs to be made. Things need to come in. There's going to be some sort of like there's going to be some sort of calling. It's not going to feel like a call. Sometimes when thank you spirit for this. Sometimes when spirit calls people, it's like very clear and obvious, like, I know I need to go, at least for me, I know I need to go do this after years of being called into different things. I've been able to discern, oh, spirit's doing something. So sometimes I know when I'm walking into something, it's like, oh, spirit's calling me into something. Spirit has a calling for me. That's the reason I'm feeling like this, or that's the reason I'm being prepared for something, or there's a calling somewhere. But this isn't gonna feel like a calling. This is just gonna feel like you having fun with your friends. This is gonna feel in my own head during this. Yeah, it's a take your time. You don't have to respond to everything. If that's why you said that, there's no worries. There's no worries. Yeah, no worries and no hurries. That's true. Thank you, Spirit, for that. So in this like process, it's like a prophecy grounding. Spirit's calling on you. It's not there's where we were. It's not going to feel like a calling though. It's not going to feel like you're being called to something. It's not going to feel like Spirit's like come and visit. Spirit. It's not going to feel so direct as Spirit being like I have a calling for you. Like it's not going to feel like that. It's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel what I see is you taking a trip with your friends. You might even forget that I say this, to be honest. I feel, and then remember when you're supposed to remember. Sometimes that happens. That's what I feel like is going to happen. That's what I see is probably going to happen. It's like you're going to get onto this mountain and start this like camping trip or this hiking trip or whatever it is that you're doing. It's like you and your friends are doing, you're going to brew something. You're going to go and brew something. I'm not sure exactly the details. What I see is a hiking trail with some sort of mountain-esque view. And I see you in the middle of the walk. I see you in the middle of the trail and the rocks getting like kicked around on the ground. That's what I see. And I see that there's like this moment of clarity where you're just, there's a lot of understanding. It's like there's so many questions that you have. Thank you, Spirit. There's so many questions you have about your life. There's so many questions you have about your path. There's so many questions you have about your purpose. You have so many questions for Spirit. There's so many questions that you have, and you've had them for so long. You've had them for so long. You've had so many questions. You've had them for so long. You've been growing in yourself how you need to. You've been grooving how you need to. You've been in your work and the spirit coming through with this moment of like, I understand, because it's a moment of I understand what I need to do now. You are probably not going to be able to explain it to anyone in a very direct way. And there could be friends in this group that look at you and are like, you're literally crazy. You're literally crazy. Like, they might be excited for you or happy for you, and also there's gonna be some people that you tell about this experience where they're like, "You're literally crazy. You are literally crazy." I've been there, maybe not in the exact position, but I understand that. I understand what it's like to have this profound spiritual calling, wisdom, experience, meditation, visualization, like prophetic, it had to happen moment. That was how my initiation started. That might not be exactly what it is for you, but that was when was starting, it was one of my initiations. Let me be more clear with that. I was like me, because I was going through at the time, we were talking about meditations and your offerings. I was going through at the time I was getting really sober. I was meditating all the time. I was meditating like every day for like an hour a day average for a while. I was getting so sober that I didn't have any sugar in my diet. I didn't have any caffeine tea. I didn't have anything except for plants, oil, and like salt and pepper. That was it. I didn't even season my food. And I know how to cook. I just didn't season it because I didn't need it at the time. I needed it to be simple and grounded and like very simple. That was it. And I had kombucha. I guess that was, the sugar that I had, but other than that, that was it, and that was, like, around the time when I was meditating and doing all of that. Then eventually, I got called out into nature. I went into camping, and while I was there, Imma share this with you because for I just feel like I need to. That's why, and that's good enough. That's a good enough reason. I got called out and went camping. I was at a place that had a very specific name. The name was important, and there were these ravens that were basically as big as me. I'm a pretty big person, I'm like 5'10", 5'11". They're big, and they were following me around basically the whole time I was there. I didn't really do a lot of hiking, but basically the whole time I was there. And then spirit gave me a vision in the middle of my meditation, and I was like, I understand what my purpose is now. I didn't have the language for it then. I didn't have the understanding of like that's what was happening at the time, but that's the similarity of what I see. Yeah, but smoking. That's yes, I was getting sober from smoking at the time too. Interesting. Interesting. Mhm. Interesting. So there's gonna be some sort of prophet. I don't know what it is. Just keep doing what you're doing because whatever you're doing already has you on the path to be able to receive that, and there's also unpredictability to it. It's like maybe a not a last minute trip or like a but it's gonna be something where it's like, "Okay, well, we've gotta go now, like, this is the only weekend we can do it." You're gonna be there with other people is what I'm hearing also, like, you're gonna be there with other people, you're gonna be there around other people. It may not be a lot of people, you're still gonna be in nature and kind of, like, secluded or isolated, like, away from everybody else in society. You're probably just gonna be there with your friends, but there is gonna be something that happens where let it be unpredictable because that vision or like purpose that I received, I gotten so sober, so clear, so like meditated, grounded, like phew, my gifts were opening up is that's why I say that phew. There's a lot of things that were happening psychically and like spiritually at the time. And I hadn't smoked for a while and I was so clear. And then I ended up partaking in how do I say this? I saved just a little bit for myself, like just a tiny little bit for myself, tiny little amount for myself. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I need to do that right now. While I was in the middle of this camping, I was like, I feel like I need to do that right now. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like I do. And I went into a meditation, and that's when Spirit said, here, you need to receive this now. So, should I be pursuing sobriety and psychiatric meds? There's a reason you're asking that question, and there's a reason that spirit's gonna give you an offering of a vision. I don't have that answer. That's that's I don't have that answer. And also, however this, like, information comes through for you, you're gonna understand how you need to be, like, creating your future based on what you see. Yeah, I don't know what that is for you on your decision, but that's what I see. How do you have any questions for me? That's interesting. I don't think I have given prophecy for someone's calling for a while. And spirits about to call on me too, because this is, I think, the second reading I've done recently where I'm talking to other people about them receiving callings recently. So spirits about to put a calling on me. Okay, listen. Spirits telling me that yesterday too. So thank you for the confirmation. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, do you have any other questions? Because I can't. That's not an answer that I have. That's something that is between you and spirit. That's something that's between you and spirit, and I can't hear it. I can't see it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Yeah. Sorry, vocab is going. Goes going when I like super in the spirit. When I when I get like super in the spirit. No, 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 that's okay. I understand that too. That's no worries. That's no worries. No worries. No hurries. Yeah, I understand that. I feel like I feel like every other question that you are going to ask about other stuff, I'm not going to get an answer for. So if you have questions, yeah, like I'm feeling that very very hardcore. So if you have any questions before we close it about the trip or the journey or things that you need preparation, you're already doing what you need to do. So that's not an issue or like it's not something that you need to look at really. It's just keep going. Curiosity, curious. What is interesting? Just curious. You're so lovely. Oh, yeah, I'm grateful for you too. So good. Let me pull a couple more cards and see if there's any more clarity pieces that need to come through a prophecy. That's really what's being given to you. As long as there's no correction, it doesn't feel like it. It feels very acceptance. It's like acceptance of the reason that, let's talk about that actually. In my experience, the reason that spirit offers callings to people, or like there's like a prophecy given to them, or like a calling that's given to them, and it's like their purpose and it's like what they're supposed to do. The reason that that happens, again, in my experience, or the reason that has happened to me, is because you're already naturally doing what you need to be doing to sit in the responsibility of the purpose of the calling that spirit would give to you. So if you're already sitting in it, you're already working in it, then you don't need to do anything differently. You just need to make sure that you continue to do what you're doing, however it is that you're doing it. And that's not, as long as what you're doing isn't difficult, that's not a hard thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's not difficult, as long as what you're doing right now is not difficult, keep the work, keep preparing yourself with the work that you're already doing. Keep preparing yourself with the work that you're already doing. Keep preparing with the work that you're already doing. There's going to be some other kind of inclinations that you get sustainable. I'm grateful for that word. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to you. Yes. Sustainable. For sure. There could be some other things that you're like inclined to start in the however long this takes. It feels like in the coming like three months or so. Basically, like, get through eclipse season and, like, things are gonna switch up again, like, the shift of the spirits and the switch up, the shift up that was happening at the beginning. There could be some new things that you're like, "Maybe I should go and do that," or, "Maybe I should." Don't let it fall flat. If you feel like you need to go and do it, go and brew it. If you feel like you need to get up and go and try it, go and try it. If you feel like you need to go and buy it, go and buy it. If you feel like you need to go and do it, go and do it. If you feel like it's something new, something true, then go for you. That's the other part, because sometimes preparation, especially towards a spiritual calling, is like spirit will put smaller feelings of intuitive callings with you. At least in my experience, this is what's happened. Smaller feelings of intuitive callings with you. It's like, are you going to answer that small call? Are you going to go do that feel? You're going to go do that? Oh, you did do that. Okay, well, let me give you another one in a couple days. Okay, well, you going to go do that one? Okay, well, you did, so let me give you another one eventually again, and those kinda happen over time, and so keep doing those things if you feel like you need to. If you don't, though, don't do it. If you don't do it, but if you feel like you need to, then go do it. Because I also those small calls, the small calls of, like, intuition or, like, the small calls of intuitiveness that lead up to, like, a really big purpose calling or, like, a prophecy being offered to you, thank you, Spirit, then those small calls let spirit know how you're interacting with what they're asking of you eventually, and like what are you ready for, what are you willing to do, and how are you going to do it. And that interactive relationship will help to make sure that what is going to be offered to you is like specifically for you. That's another thing to like think about too. So I don't know what's going to be, but you know what, enjoy the prophecy, because I'm gonna say people don't receive those very often, but spirits have me talking about it twice in the matter of a couple days. So, or like several days, whenever my previous live stream reading was. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Thank you for allowing me to read that. Yeah, you're so welcome. That was beautiful. Enjoy it. I don't know what's going to happen, but whenever you remember the reading, enjoy it. Whenever it comes back into your mind, enjoy it. So good. So good. So good. For Mary Sauce, I'm finishing this reading like right now, and I was just about to go into yours. We can be done if you want to be. I'm like literally about to go into yours. Yeah. How do you feel about that? You still wanna be done? You still wanna be done? Mm, understood. It's okay, going to bed. Okay, beautiful. Well, then let me do that then. For everyone else, just a reminder that everything is meant to be non-refundable, so just, if you're gonna just a heads up. Please don't purchase if you're gonna go back on it eventually. That's my ask of people. That's my ask of people. It makes it easier for me. It makes it easier for my back end of things. I am gonna refund this one, but just a heads up for anybody who's sitting with me now or in the future. That's true. Yeah. Cool. There we go. It's done. Enjoy your sleep. Get good sleep. Yes. Enjoy your sleep. Get good sleep. And talk to you maybe eventually. No, take your time. Go to bed. Go rest. If you need to rest, go rest. If you need to rest, go rest. Okay? Go rest. That's a yes. Are you taking any more readings tonight? I am. I am. Come hang out. I don't have anybody on the list right now. So if you're wanting to hop in, it's on the website. I am going to do some, at least I'm pretty sure I don't have anyone. Let me update it. I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, for now, that's it. I am going to go through, let's sit with some collective stuff because with the Venus, I was sitting with Venus retrograde earlier and I want to, the skull. I love that skull. It's a good skull. It's a good skull. Yeah, it's a good skull. It's a good skull. I want to look at some more. Let me just sit for a second. Hold on. Me asking this question. I'm really wondering what spirit's going to call of me soon. Because that's the first reading that I did Thursday, I think it was. Interesting. Thursday. Let's yap about it. On Thursday, and it's eclipse season coming up, which means it's like a pretty good time for spirit to be giving offerings to people about that kind of stuff. I don't know when mine's going to come through, or when it's going to happen, or where it's going to happen, or how it's going. I don't know. I don't know, and that's all right. I don't need to know until I need to know. So yeah, I don't know what's going on yet, but spirits have me getting into a different order for months now. Getting into a different order for months now. It's been a lot of work, to be honest with you. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work. It's been so much work. It's been very, very, how do I say? I've had to be very diligent and very disciplined. And I put on my exclusive subs blog that I sent out earlier that this weekend, I think I said it in this room earlier too. This weekend was the first 2 days off in a row that I've had in a long time. Well, I guess I took a week off did I take a week off? I was still doing stuff though. I took a week off from readings, but I was still doing stuff over Christmas break and over like the holidays. So somebody sent through. Oh, and this order 1, 2, 3, a new start for you and me. Okay, let's talk about it. Cool. Cool. But yeah, I'm interested to see because Spirit has called me back into this recently, like doing readings on live stream, and I haven't done that in a while. Spirit's been calling me into different. Sam, I haven't talked to you in a new beginning. A new beginning. Okay, let's talk about it. That's so good. Will you let me know what chat room you're in? Oh my goodness. Sam, love you, Sam. Love you, Sam. Love you, Sam. Interesting. So good. So good. General reading with any info. Okay, beautiful. Be lovely. Dreams have been interesting. You know what? Dreams have been interesting. So good. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I feel like I need to finish what I was about to say, and then I want to get into your reading. What was I about to say? Do I need to finish it? That caught me so off guard. So off guard. Oh, it's so good to have a heart that's not hard. Do you know how beautiful that is? That was not what I was going to say, but it's good. No, the calling. That's what I was talking about. I'm really interested, but we can save it for another time. I just needed to remind myself. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's talk about it then. Creativity. You need to get creative. Okay. Practice stuff. Magic stuff. Practice stuff. Magic stuff. Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking for me? That's what I see. It's like you got fundamentals now. You're practicing things now. Oh, this is something about spirituality and humanity. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Spirit. Okay, hold on. Let me get the full picture before I just start talking about stuff because that's going to be important. I don't need this deck for the rest of this. Hold on. We don't need these cards either. Those need to go back. You're not under attack, okay? This is a protection. This is discernment. discernment, discernment, and learnment, discernment, learnment. You're not under attack. It's not a spiritual attack. It's not a physical attack. There's nothing to fight back against. You just need to understand there's about to become the end of a ride with you and someone who's important to you. Important to you, there's a lot of different layers to that, however it might be. There's someone who, it's like betrayal. That's the word that I keep hearing. Betrayal. Someone's going to betray you. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Betrayal. There's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. They've already decided. They've already decided that they're going to do whatever it is. Even if they haven't decided it, whatever it is that they're going to do to betray you, they haven't maybe decided on that thing yet, but they've already within their heart made the decision that this is their narrative, not mine. Okay. That you're not worth their loyalty. So they're about to betray you. You're going to be out of a union because of it. There's going to be some sort of relationship break, or the breakage of that relationship, I keep seeing. And remember that it's the year of the snake. Spirit's been reminding me that for a couple days now. It's the year of the snake in the moon. It's the year of the snake. What do snakes are usually pretty singular, unless they're in a snake pit. That's different. If you want to be in a snake pit, I'd rather be by myself. Okay. I'd rather be. For the most part. Not for all of it. Not for my whole entire life, but it is. Snakes also shed their skin. What happens when you get too big for the relationship that you're in? What happens when you get too big for the environment? What happens when you get too big for your skin? You got to shed it. So this is a year of where, with the moon, where there's going to be a lot of endings. This is kind of on a general note, but it's applicable to this reading. There's going to be a lot of endings, and we just kind of have to get really good at being okay, well, that's done now. I guess I got to keep going. Okay, that's done now. That's just part of the skin that I'm shedding right now. Okay, that's done now. I just have to shed it. I just have to be done with it. A betrayal. Let me bring out the other deck. I need so many crossings of different areas of your life too, because this is 3 different decks. What does Sam need to do, if anything? No more fate will be woven. This is, okay, that's what I was feeling. Sometimes I'm grateful for the confirmation through the cards. Let's talk about it. Sometimes on a path of spirit, because it feels like you've been pretty consistent with your practices since we previously spoken, which was a while ago, if I'm sure about that. It was sometime in the previous year. I don't remember exactly when, but it was sometime in the previous year. You've been pretty consistent with your practices. You've been keeping up on things. You've been learning about things. You've been handling life like a warrior. You've been doing good. You've been doing great. I feel like that's why it's I'm being asked to remind you that you can't stop what's about to happen. And 1, you're not supposed to. And 2, it's not your fault. There's nothing you could do. You're already doing everything you need to do in your practice. You're already doing everything you need to do to take care of your human life. You're already doing everything you need to do. Sometimes people suck. I love humanity. I'm so grateful we're alive, and I'm so grateful we're here. Sometimes people suck. So with what is about to happen, let me make, comedy is born of tragedy. We can laugh a little bit. With the betrayal, it's how do I say this? Sometimes spirit has us go through things, especially being on a spiritual path, especially as someone who's working in spirit, who's walking in spirit, who's learning in the spirit, who's keeping the spirits fed, who's doing the work they need to do. They're sitting in the callings that they're called to sit in, because that's what you're doing. You're taking care of your human life, and you're in the spirit. You're taking care of and you're in the spirit. That's first of all, congratulations on the union and your practice of being a human and in the spirit, because if I remember correctly, also the previous time that we talked, that was something that you were working on integrating. Hello, level up. Okay, so congrats on that. I also feel like give yourself more credit. That's what, imbue yourself with some more love, because what I feel is congratulations. I feel on congratulations on your manifestations. Congratulations on your wishes coming true. Let this person betray you. Congratulations on what you're about to receive, because if you are really I don't know what you're working on. I don't know what you got going on. Okay. If this person's about to betray you, okay, well, let them leave. I've got everything I want over here. I've been doing the work. I have everything I want over here. I'm going in that direction. And then there's this person who was walking with me who's going to betray me. Okay, well, they don't need to receive those things then. Spirit's having them betray you right now because they don't need to make it to the destination. Not everybody's supposed to come with you. So congratulations on the manifestation. Congratulations on the money. Congratulations on the new whatever it is that you're working in the physical. I don't know what it is, but congrats on that because you've been growing something for a while and it's finally coming through in the next couple months, next month or two. It's like eclipse season's going to like shake it, break it, bring it. Oh, that was really loud. Okay, let it be loud then, I guess. Let it be loud then, I guess. Oh my goodness. I don't know, bring stress. Let it be loud then, I guess. Just bring it down. And because sometimes in the path of spirit, we have, it's like, just let them, I'm excited, keep going and growing. Yeah, let them betray you. If they're going to screw you over, let them screw you over. Protect yourself if you need to. Make sure that everything's, if you know that somebody's going to come and betray you, just put up a couple extra borders on things you are like working with that are important. If you feel like you need to, get your paperwork where it needs to be, put it under lock and key if it's necessary. Just make sure the things are the way that they need to be. Make sure that, you're not going to set yourself up in a situation to be more further hurt. Doesn't feel like that's even really that possible. Only if you're like really neglectful, but it doesn't feel like that's the energy that you're in. So that's like an extra like warning of like, you might not even need it, is what I feel about that. So let them betray you. Let them betray you. Let them soothsay you. It feels like somebody's going to spread rumors or gossip or spread. They're going to spread some sort of like, what, the vitriol? Is that the word? Vitriol. That's the word I want to sit with. Spirit's having me a new vocabulary words tonight. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. The vitriol. They're spreading vitriol, spreading words of lies, spreading words that other people will realize are not true. They're going to talk about you. Golly, golly. They're going to talk about you, and other people who know you and are in relation to you, maybe not related to you, but like related to you in the sense of like social groups or circles and persons, people who are related to you in the world, they're going to look at this person and be like, they're not going to say anything maybe, or like, I don't know, but they're going to look at this person and be like, okay, well, you can't be my friend now either. You can't be my friend or in my life now either, because why would you talk about Sam like that? Why would you talk about, are you dumb? Like, that's the feeling I get from it. It's like the people that you're around is like, are you dumb? Like, why would you talk about that person like that? Have they done anything wrong to you? No, you just want to stir up trouble and cause trouble so that you can get profit from it. Gross. Oh my goodness. So that's why my ears keep ringing. Oh my goodness. It's a fate about to end. This feels like for some reason, because I keep trying to go to this thing about spirit sometimes has us. Let me put some of these cards up. I feel like that is going to be important. Let me cover these so I can think about what I'm seeing. Hold on. This one deck that I have that's new is real strong. So every time that, like, if I leave the cards out, it's still going to talk to me. So I got to put it up. So let me go back to this other deck. Sometimes when we walk in the spirit, we have things happen in our lives where it like doesn't make any sense at the time, but later on it makes more sense. Sometimes also, like, what I see in this is like spirit is having you walk through. Let me talk more specifically about you rather than trying to make it general. Thank you, spirit. What I see as spirit is having you walk through this betrayal, because it's like just to make sure you're not going to get hot-headed, just to make sure it's like two, what is it? 2 birds, 1 loaf of bread. It's 2 different things happening at the same time. One, this person is not supposed to come with you. Goodbye. Let them cry. If you need, however you need to heal, if you need to work in the healing energy, go do that for yourself too. But goodbye, let them cry. Okay. It's going to hurt to get cut off. They're the ones who are betraying you. You're not the one betraying them. So let them get cut off. Okay, goodbye. Let them cry. So it's that. And also at the same time, it's spirit making sure that you're going to be able to be mature it's like checking in. Do you have the maturity to be in this new place? Do you have the maturity for the greatness that we're about to give you? Do you have the maturity for the gifts and the blessings? Do you have the maturity for the offerings? Do you have the maturity for the messages and the wisdoms? Do you have the maturity for the next step? And this is sort of it's like a clearing out and a making sure at the same time. Clearing out, making sure. It's also going to close some kind of fate. It's like people stabbing you in the back, people who have been hurting you. You've been through a path of people just being bleh. I'm not going to say that on live stream. And also, lots of people from where you been. Lots of people from where you been, where you've been hurt, harmed, disarmed, and charmed, and then hurt some more. So this kind of final process is to close the fate out. It's to close the fate of that happening. It's to close the fate of people being around you who are icky yucky like that. It's to close the fate of it. Sometimes with fate, hold on, let me show you these cards. Me in not all the decks, but like this is 4 different ones. Okay, here we go. Because this is when I work with fate crossings, I work with the not a weird most of the time. Most of the time. Okay. And yeah, you can see it on that screen too. So look at how many crossings there are though. And this is only one set of like the full crossings. Now imagine like a whole tapestry of these. That's what our life is like. Every day. Every day has multiple of these in it. Sometimes. It depends on how you read it, and I would read it in that essence of more often than not. So we have multiple of these all over the place, okay? Sometimes they're really, really big, profound grounding. Sometimes they're like, I say multiple of these a day because it's like, because not to not revere fate. Revering fate in the sense of like everything weaves our fate. So like every decision on a daily basis that we make is a crossing of some kind. And also there's sometimes where the spirit of fate is going to come through and cross you with something really big. So on both kind of perspectives of that, when it comes to, interesting that this card also is judgment. Correct. So sometimes when we close out the fates, it's like the final string of this line of betrayal that's been strung through your life. And it's at the end, but it has to cross one more time because it has to get tied off. And then you can be free of it. It has to get tied off with you, and then you can be done. So when you're at the end of those crossings, that's what this is. This person, this like kind of final betrayal, this soothsayer, somebody's sailing with the, okay, goodbye then, sail away. It's crossing because it's got there's a knot in your fates that has to be tied. So it's the end of the line, and it's not going to be able to cross you after this, but it has to happen so that the knot can be tied. So however it is, just keep your heart wide. Keep your heart wide while you're walking through it. Move in love while you're walking through it. Handle the situation how you feel like you need to handle it. Understand that if you are kind when you are blind, things are a lot easier on the other side of not being blind. So if you're blind in the middle of this, whatever it is, however people are moving, again, this is not you under attack. Spirit needs you to be very, very it's like very grounded and understanding, and just set the boundaries how they need to be set. You're not there yet. This is like a it doesn't even feel like a warning. Like it's gonna not be fun. But also, and I'm looking at the clock, 1203, and the order that came through for your reading was 123, and I said a new beginning for you and me. So, okay, the betrayal then, oh, interesting. Revere it then. A crossing of fate, and then you're finished. And then you're done. And then you'll have your new beginning, and all this stuff that you're asking for is going to come through. A crossing of fate, and then you're finished. You're through. That's it. So let there be this like final knot. Is there any questions that you have? It feels like there's like a couple questions, but it feels like I need to direct the energy back to you to see if that's true. And also if there's any questions that you have. Tying them out. Get it gone. Tying them out. Get it gone. Oh my goodness. That is kind of intense. So that's why my ears keep ringing. Scorpio moon's gotta be rounded, Dude, I love a Scorpio. Also up next, I have Caitlin. I think I might make this my final reading of the night, to be honest with you. Does this correlate with my dreams? Do you think it does? Do you think it does? You know your dreams better than me? Do you think it does? That's why I think I said it at one point in the reading. I don't know when, but I was like, "Why are you coming to me?" It was like towards the beginning. That's how I feel about everything that you're doing. Everything else in your life, everything else in your practice is like, why are you coming to me? Why you gotta talk to me about it? You don't need to talk to me about it, but you need to talk. Apparently, for whatever reason, Spirit needs you to know ahead of time that this is going to happen. It's gonna be something that takes a couple weeks. It's gonna be something that takes a couple weeks in the sense of like there's multiple peaks of like interaction or like friction, erosion, maybe a little bit. It takes a couple weeks to hit those peaks of again with the dissemination of information, or something's gonna get back to you. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's somebody around you is feeling real particular about who you are. Because you know what? Because you know what? You're about to get everything you want. Their spirit knows that. Talk about jealousy. Their spirit knows that. They might not be able to explain it, but their spirit knows it. Their spirit knows. Their spirit knows you're about to get everything you want. Their spirit knows that you're about to confront and receive everything that you want, that these manifestations that you have been working for and asking for and working for some more. Their spirit knows they're about to come through. People, and I'm saying this also from personal experience. You are about to receive everything that you want. People can get really ugly. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Yes. Love you too. Yeah, it's not about you. It's not about like it's about you because it's your life, but for them, it's not about you. It's the fact that you're winning and they're not. But who worked for it? Hello. Who worked for it? You did. Who worked for it? You did. You're going to receive everything you need, everything you want. You're growing the seeds that you planted. You're about to reap what you've sown. And it's something that is like very well grown. So again, I'm going to say congratulations. Congratulations. So good. Let them. Let them. Let them. Let them. And remind yourself it's not your problem. Let them. And remind yourself there's people in your life that love you. Let them. And may they be elevated in love so they don't have to be in that position anymore. Don't let them bother you. Okay. Now we'll call the reading through. They will be let. Grateful for you. Oh, take care and enjoy your winnings. Enjoy your winnings. I don't know when they're coming in and what they're going to be. I don't know what you asked for. Not my business. Doesn't matter to me in this moment. Also, congrats. So good. So good. Why did you say that online? What I hear is also no more sleeping with rats. I don't know what that means for you. I don't know how that's going to translate, but that's what no more sleeping with rats. Something you're getting up out of then. Good. Good. Okay. Love you, Sam. Love you, Sam. I'll let it be done. Enjoy your new beginning. Hopefully it's more fun. Hopefully it's way more fun. All right. Okay, for Caitlin. And yes, I am going to turn off my orders. Give me just a second before we get into Caitlin's reading. I'm going to turn off the orders. So this is going to be the final reading. I think this is the final reading. Let me just double check and see if there's anyone else who came through tonight. And then in the coming couple of days, I'm going to be doing a collective reading for the upcoming eclipse season. I kind of want to do it while the moon's in Gemini because it's our first quarter moon. So I don't know when, I don't know what day, but it will be recorded. If it pops into your mind at some point later on, it'll be recorded on YouTube as well for people who are watching over on TikTok. But yeah, I'm going to get an eclipse reading done because I feel like it's, I don't know why. It came into my mind before I got on live stream and I was like, I need to do that. I'm not going to do any personal readings on that night. I just want to sit and read the collective energy of what's up and what's going on. Yeah. Okay. So let me go back to Caitlin's. Just a heads up. That's our next one probably coming through. Quite a limbo. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Understood. I feel like I'm Rapunzel. You know what's funny? Also, Caitlin, where are you in the chats? I think you probably already sent me a message over on TikTok. Oop, and I just didn't see it. But will you send me a chat? Will you send me a chat? Let me know where you're at. How interesting. Yes. For Juliana, my books tonight are closed. Normally, you go through and you go to in the menu Astrology and Magic, and then live stream readings. I just closed them. Couple different ways you can get notifications. I'll have like if you can turn notifications on TikTok, I'm pretty sure that's an option. If you want to join the community organization and Coven support page, I just put up a page on the space today for live stream updates. So I'll announce like when I'm going on live stream. So that's the other option of notification. Yeah, it is. I'm in the YouTube chat. Beautiful. Going back, Katie. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me have a rest moment with myself and then we'll get into it because that I feel like I'm Rapunzel. That's what I was gonna say. Okay, so it's interesting when you said I feel like I'm Rapunzel. Spirit has me on some Disney princess stuff recently too. I did my nails recently and they're two different colors, but it reminds me of I used to have some, I don't know what it was, but some like Disney princess costume when I was younger. And they're like, I did them different colors. I've never done that before. I was just like, gotta do it. The little kid in me, very childlike, was like, we gotta paint them different colors. I was like, all right, that's fine. We can do that. Little kid me, that's totally cool. But I painted them two different colors and I was like, these look like Disney princess colors. Like it reminds me of some kind of so you talking about the the nails are everything. It's so good. I just got myself like a gel nail kit. I used to do nails at the end of high school. Like towards the end of high school, that was what I did for money for a job. Not for very long, but I was there long enough to learn what I needed to learn to take care of myself, apparently. So thanks, Spirit, for that. There's a lot of other stuff I learned being there too. That's true. But anyways, that's it just reminded me because you were talking about Rapunzel and I was like, oh, interesting. Like I've had little girl me pop up with Disney princess stuff recently too. So it's like super random. Also, I haven't thought about a little girl Disney princess me in a long time. So it's like sort of weird or like just strange that that's coming up right now. But yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. What book do we need to read? The Disney binge watching. Oh, so good. Oh yeah, healing from surgery, sitting and like having the time to rest. I understand that. I understand that. I did when well, we don't need to get into specifics, but there was a time period in like 2020 where I was sitting and resting and recovering, and I went through and I watched all the Harry Potter movies. And I had never watched them front to back. That was my inner kid healing that I needed for like a similar space and place that you are sitting in. Maybe not exactly, but like yeah, I understand that. It's honestly enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. This deck is not for you. We need to read with something else. This one is this one. You need this one. Having more fun? Having more fun? What did you say? Let me go back and read up on your note again. Recent college grad too. So there's like a lot of things changing. Surgery, college graduation, applying for jobs. Oh yeah, and you're talking about activism. The job markets. What I hear is like, what are you really meant to be doing? What do you do right now? What are you really meant to be doing? As in like, what's your purpose? You're in like a position right now. Thanks, Spirit. You're in a position right now where it's like open opportunities and possibilities, and the decisions that you make in this time is going to turn your life in a really big different direction. A really, really big different direction. And I keep hearing like, what is it that I'm really meant to be doing? Because if these places that you're trying to get jobs from are not hiring you, okay, well, why? You're probably qualified. you're probably qualified, you're probably passionate and like, a hard worker, however you would describe yourself. So it's like, well, why is this getting blocked? Like why look how far you've walked in the purpose that you're in. Like why is this not working out? That's what I'm hearing. It's like, why is this not working? What are you really meant to be doing? While you're sitting and resting from your surgery, make sure that you're taking time to not just sit and watch TV. Make sure that you're sitting and taking time to talk to me. Me, not me. Me, you. Me. The version of me that exists in you. Not to confuse yourself. Go talk to yourself. So many layers to that. Go sit and talk to yourself. Make sure that you're taking time. Make sure that you're taking time to sit and talk to yourself about what it is that's going on. You're in a place right now where you're kind of forced to rest. You're kind of forced to sit and digest what's happening and sit and digest. Like, this is the perfect time to sit and figure it out. This is the perfect call out that I needed. This is the perfect time to figure it out. And it's uncomfortable to have those conversations. I was literally having conversations with myself about that over the weekend. And for me, a lot of the times when I sit and rest and I need to like recover from working a lot, I'll read books. That's like one of my favorite things to do. And there was several times, and I mean like several, both days of the weekend where I was sitting and I was reading. I got this beautiful new book. It's a trilogy in one book. So it's like this fat book. And that's my favorite kind of book. So I was sitting there, I was reading. I was so excited. I'm officially like 200 and something pages in. It's a good story too. I was sitting, I was reading, and there were several different times where I was sitting and I was reading. And then there was just this wave of tiredness that would come over me. And I was like, I'm not tired enough to sleep, but like, I need to just close my eyes. Like, I want to keep reading, but like, I can't. I have to close my eyes. So I would sit and there would be this like wave of information that would come through for me. And I'd be like, okay, I understand more now. So slow. Oh my, normally in my readings, I can pick it up pretty quick, but this is really slow. And I was sitting there and there's information. I was like, okay, I understand more now. I understand more now. I understand. I understand. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And it happened several different times. Several different times. I told myself over the weekend, I was like, I'm not getting up to do anything. I'm not getting up to do anything. I'm not doing the dishes. I'm not really gonna cook unless it's food that I like really want to eat. I'm gonna eat stuff that's either already made or it's takeout or it's like fresh food that I don't have to cook. Like I was like, I'm doing the bare minimum, really. Like I'm not doing anything. So I knew that in that period of rest at the beginning of the weekend, I was like, I need these couple of days to get some things figured out. Like, this is not just rest for me. I knew that that was going to be a space where there was some things I was going to need to learn about while simultaneously like communing with my joy again. I haven't been able to sit around and read a book for myself in a while. Like normally when I'm reading books, it's homework books. Spirits got me with dedications. I got to read stuff. I got to keep up on stuff. I was like, I need to take a break from reading, like educational, and I need to sit and I need to enjoy what I'm reading, right? Okay, so regardless of that, and in regard to that too, there's sometimes I was called to like sit and just listen, 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 sit and just listen and listen and listen and sit and just listen. And then when you feel like you need to go back to reading your book, okay, watching your movies or like doing what it is you want to do, then go do that. It's also interesting. What I hear is like you're also breaking a cycle, like it's like the cycle of addiction or a cycle of prediction, being able to predict things. Sometimes, and this is not for everyone, sometimes people who have issues with addiction, it is related to prediction or like things being unpredictable, not being able to predict things. So it's like if I can sit with this one spirit or drink or substance, then I'll be able to predict everything that's going to be happening. That's like a sense of control, and I'm able to predict that one thing. And so being able to predict, like we can't predict everything. We just can't. And thank God we can't, because I think life would be really boring if we could. And also, sometimes there's like trauma related to that. Not being able to predict everything can cause a lot of problems for people in experiences where harm is involved. So, like prediction. And if prediction in your family has ever been related to addiction, then there's a cycle that's being rewritten right now. And so, not being It's like being more in your natural cycle, in your natural space, the neutral place of being like, "Okay, well, I've been watching this movie for a while. Do you feel like you need to keep watching it?" Catch me meditating in the dark. Yes. So good. It's like, "Do I feel like I need to keep watching this right now? Do I only wanna watch this because I feel like I have to keep watching it? Let me stop then. Let me stop if I feel like I need to stop, and let me stop and listen. Let me sit and listen to what my spirit needs to say. Let me sit the way that I would say this is let me sit and listen to what spirit needs me to hear right now. Could be some mother spirits coming through. It could be some spirits on your team. It could be your ancestral spirits. I don't know how you keep relationships in the spirits. Not something I need to see for this reading. It doesn't look like. So whoever is around you, however they're around you, the only way sometimes that they can bring information in is if we sit down and we shut up. Sometimes that's the only way they could get through. Is if we sit down and we shut up and we sit down and we shut up in the meaning of also like we don't have on the TV or we're not reading a book or we're not talking to somebody. And that's one thing. It must be the Venus retrograde and eclipse season, I'm sure, probably. Yeah, it must be a part of that too, because I've been feeling that really heavy and heavy on the shut up part. Hey, you know what? If that's what you feel about it, let yourself feel about it, heavy on the shut up part. Yeah, because it's like, if we're up in the world and we're like walking around, it's like the birds can bring us the messages and like we can think about things while we're moving and we're walking. But if you think about it in like the sense of every time that we move, we pick up the wind, right? Every time that we move, we pick up the wind. Every time that we're watching something or someone's talking to us, we pick up the wind. Every time we pick up the wind. And so if we sit and we shut up, the wind stops. Okay, now that the air is still, the spirits who need stillness in the air to talk to you, they can come through. Sometimes that stillness is the doorway and the door frame that needs to be opened instead of it being active or an activity. Sometimes that stillness is the doorway that needs to be open for you to receive what you need to receive. That feels pretty good. You got questions? What questions do you have? Other than sit down, shut up, and listen. That's not really a question. I think that's the assignment, but oh, heavy on the shut up part. Hey, you know what? They've had me on that recently too. It's like, would you just sit down, please? They've been saying that to me for months now. Can you just sit? Would you just sit? And I keep trying to do stuff and I keep trying to do not trying to, I keep doing stuff. Would you just sit? They keep saying that to me. So finally, in the previous couple of weeks, I've been like, okay, I guess I trust you enough to sit. I guess I trust because for me, I'll say that part. It feels important that I do. For me, it's trauma related. And should I push myself to be filling out job applications? Because I'm not sure if I'm doing it. I'm going to talk about what I was going to talk about because it feels like there's an answer in there. Feels like there's an answer in there. For me, it's trauma related. Feeling like I always got to do stuff, feeling like I always have to get up and go. It's trauma related on the sense of the ancestral mothers I come from always having to get up and work for somebody else, the kids, the father, whoever. Okay. It's trauma related in the sense of like where I come from, not coming from a safe environment and growing up and always having to be up and working and going. It's trauma related for me on the sense of the previous several years I've been through where I had to fight to get out of what I was going through on a real level. So for me to be able to sit down and shut up and listen is like, oh, not only do I trust myself now, I'm affirming. I saw this on TikTok the other day and I have no idea where it came from. It was another reader, I'm pretty sure, and I don't follow them. So it was just like a random video that came up on my page. They were talking about how you being able to sit and be still is affirming your success. It's affirming that you trust the path that you're on. I do trust where I am, I can rest. And because I trust where I am and I can rest, maybe we just needed to get to that point. And good for you. You know what? Good for you. Let yourself rest then. Let yourself rest then. Because if you're listening while you're resting, are you really all the way resting? No, you're digesting. But sometimes we need to sit, we need to rest and digest. There needs to be the information that comes through. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, you being able to sit and rest and be. I do trust myself. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, me. I've been having to do this with myself recently. I'll offer another tool that I've been working with recently. Okay, me. In a second, I want to say this part first. Okay, me. What have I been, working in, doing? What do you think I need to do, me? Take your own advice. What do you think I need to do, me? What do you think I need to do? The advice I was gonna give, and this kind of brings it full circle because we were talking about this at the beginning, the Disney princess and like the healing of the inner kid. Recently, over the previous probably like 3 or 4, as I've been resting, the 3 or 4 days I've been resting, it's been like 2 or 3 because I went back to get into work stuff today. But like while I was resting, little kid me, little kid me being like, 5, 6, young, little kid me in the age range of probably like under 12 or 13. Okay, about that time. Little kid me came through, and I was like, I have to let little kid me lead again. Little kid me is creative. Little kid me is smart. Little kid me, I don't know if this is true for you, but I'm just going to speak some things that were true for me and hopefully it sparks some inspiration. Little kid me was smarter than most of the adults around me. And I got away with a lot of stuff. I was real creative. I was real schemy. I was very, very smart about the way that I was moving as a child. I had to be. I had to be. Little Kimmy is the one who was practicing her dancing all the time. She was painting and she was drawing all the time. She was dreaming up, scheming up different stuff all the time. So little Kimmy was driven. Little Kimmy was hardworking. Little Kimmy had dreams and goals and aspirations and wasn't going to let anybody tell her no either. So little kid me, I've been having to come through with little kid me and be like, okay, listen, I trust you. You're the one who has fun. You're the one who, even sitting and doing this, I realized like part of the reason that I love sitting and doing readings for people is because little kid me gets to come out and play. Little kid me was practicing her magic how she needed to back then. I brought a lot of order and structure to what I do. Thank the gods. Thank you for the help. and thank you, the highest spirit too. Let's not leave out that. And at the same time, I had a realization that was one of my realizations when I sat down and shut up and listened. I was like, I've been trying to tell little kid me no for so long. Not doing readings here online. I told myself for a long time I couldn't do that. There's some other things I told myself, painting. I told myself I couldn't do that. Making music. I told myself I couldn't do that. There's like a bunch of things, artist wise and creative and playtime wise. I told myself I couldn't do it. Little kid me was the one who wanted to do it though. So it was like big kid, adult me who was going through really hard stuff and had to get it together and be an adult and had to like really focus and be disciplined and be discerned. That environment was not safe for little kid me to be in. That environment was not an okay place for little kid me to be in. Also, big me, adult me, where I was at the time in my life several years ago, was really ashamed of what I was going through and the fact that I let myself get into that position in the first place. Don't know if that's accurate for you, so discern for yourself, but it's accurate for me. So I had to go back to, and little Kimmy was like, I don't care. Are you okay? Like, I don't care. Are you okay? Okay, well then let's go play. Like, if you're cool, like, what are you doing then? Like, let's go have some fun because I'm tired of this. You suck when you're miserable. To myself, you suck when you're miserable. So let's go have some fun. Actually, let's go have some fun and let's go do some things that are fun. Let's get up. Let's go be creative. Let's like go. You have fun talking to people, so let's go talk to people. You have fun reading. Let's go read. You have fun doing those things. So like, why are you not doing them? Why are you not doing them? So I had to go back to little kid me, big kid me, adult me. Adult me had to go back to little kid me and give little kid me permission to go have fun and to go be a kid. Okay, yeah, little kid me, I see now why I haven't been able to go and do these things that I've been wanting to do. I see now why I've been blocked with these directions I've wanted to go in. I see now because you've shown me, little kid me. Thank you, little kid me. You've shown me why. And Venus right now, interestingly enough, Venus is retrograde in Aries, which has to do with the kids, saving the kids. Saving the kids, getting the kids lifted up and out of situations they don't want to be in. But that requires that we're connected to the children. Inner kids also. It requires that we're connected to the children. So be connected to little kid you. What does little kid you know you need to do? Little kid you is smart. Little kid you wouldn't be interested in activism and interested if it wasn't really true for you. Little kids don't care about what other people think most of the time. Little kids don't care about what society has to say most of the time. Okay, so discern for you. Little kids don't care about that. We learn that when we get older. We learn to care about what other people think of us when we get older. We learn how to interact with our social groups in a way that might be a little bit more like structure oriented when we're older. Little kids don't care. Little kids don't care unless they've been taught and told two different things, taught and told that they have to care, or they've been shown that they have to care, or they've been in a hard situation where they've learned they have to care, even if they don't understand. Little kids naturally, our natural inclination as a human being when we're children, and also now we've just learned different things, is to go and be free and be who we want to be. And we learn in society, oh, it's got to be through this certain kind of job, or it's got to be through this certain kind of person, or it's got to be through this certain kind of situation, or I got to make my money in this certain kind of way, or I've got to make my honey in this certain kind of way, or I've got to have my relationships in these certain kinds of orders, or to make it to this place, I've got to do these certain things. Spirit doesn't work like that. You know the saying that you make plans and God laughs at you. Okay, well, yeah, that's applicable. Like spirit doesn't work like that. Spirit needs the unpredictability of the children. Spirit needs the unpredictableness. How would anything change if it wasn't unpredictable? So if you go back, thank you, Spirit. If you go back and you're able to reconnect with little kid you, go back and reconnect. What would little kid you do? Ask little kid you for advice. Give little kid you permission to be safe and free and talk to you how they want to talk to you, because because I know when I did that over the weekend, I'll share that with you. When I gave little kid me permission to talk to me how I needed, like just be talk to me free. When I said when I said that over the weekend, little kid me came back through and was like, "Oh, frick yeah, dude! Like, I don't talk like that now." But little kid me has been reminding me that it's just fun to say fun words. Like, it doesn't have to mean anything. Oh, and the life that I live, especially being in the spirit constantly, is like always there's a meaning, always there's a reason, always there's something else, always there's a structure and an order and a discipline. So it was good to reconnect with little kid me. Little kid me was like, "Yeah, it's freaking awesome, dude. We're gonna go do it because you want to and you're cool. So of course, yeah." So go connect with little kid you. You are in the perfect place in the perfect time to just sit down and stop talking and be able to have an inner conversation and receive information from the spirits around you. You know, little kid me, bossy girl. You know what? Good. Lean into it. It sounds like you might need it a little bit. Thank goodness for that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It was so good. Do you have questions? Do you have anything? It makes me want to cry a little bit. Oh my goodness. Do you have any questions or anything that you like might need help with, or like any other tools I can offer to you with that reconnecting of that inner child? Dude, I love little kid me. Yeah, you're so welcome. Have fun with little kid you. That's fun. You know what else? Do what little kid you would do. Like over the weekend when I was saying I didn't cook for myself, it's like I love you too. If I could give, I feel like I need to give you a hug. If I can give you a hug, I would do it. If you're all right with that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, consenting, of course. And also, yes. Yeah. Little kid me, when I would sit and one of the things that through the previous couple of years, this snack that this is like one of the final things I'll say. When I would sit and read, right? Because that's what I was talking about doing. I would sit and read and I would have snacks. I would sit and read and I would have chocolates and I would sit and read and I would have potato chips. I would sit and read. I had my first bag of potato chips in like months and months. I've been so disciplined with diet stuff recently. And I had my first bag of potato chips in like months and months and months recently. And I was like, good. Because you know what? Life is not meant to be so restricted all the time. But the other thing, I found this snack when I was living back at my mom's house a couple years ago, and they're called lupini beans. First of all, the name is fun. Second of all, they're delicious. The brand that I'm not going to shout them out because I don't do sponsorships like that. And also, they're like marinated in chili lime. I'm pretty sure is the flavor name. There's a couple other flavors. There's salt and vinegar. I don't really do salt and vinegar. They're not my favorite. But then there's like a Mediterranean medley too. Tried that one actually, it's pretty good. But anyways, I got some for myself because I found them years ago. I haven't thought about it until recently, and I was finding new pastas because I'm vegan and like you can't have eggs, right? So I was looking for new pastas. and trying to find one that was pretty good. And I found one that was made with lupini beans. And it reminded me, I was like, oh yeah, there's this snack. Little kid me love lupini beans a couple of years ago. I need to get some. So, bring it back to, the little kid you commune with little kid you through food if you need to. The South Node in Virgo is helpful for that, or like that's like part of the reason I bring it up is because the South Node in Virgo is asking that anytime we're connecting to the spirit and the purpose and the changes, that we have some kind of like grounding on the earth with the body and the food, if it's possible and necessary. So yeah. Yeah. So good. So good. So good. Okay. Well, if you're comfortable, we'll close it. That was great. That was great. That was great. Whipped cream. Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Interesting. I might sit on live stream for a second. I don't know that I want to get off quite yet. I don't know that I want to get off quite yet. Oh my goodness. What a time. That's a good skill. I'm grateful I was able to do that this weekend. I haven't done that in a while. Little kid me. Connecting with little kid you is a good thing to do. You know what? That's true. We're about to go through so many changes, you guys. We're about to go through so many changes. We're about to go through so many changes. So many. We have eclipse season. Venus is retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde. And this eclipse season, I haven't made a podcast episode about this yet. I haven't written anything about. I haven't even really made. There's gonna be more on the pod. There's gonna be more content that I make about this in the coming month. Really, in the coming like several days, because hello, we're like a little less than a week out from the eclipse. Since when? Since who? Since where? Since now. Okay. There's about to be a lot that changes. The eclipse ruled by Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? Let's break it down. The eclipse is ruled by Mercury on the 14th in Virgo. Virgo ruled by Mercury. Mercury is going to go retrograde right after that eclipse. So we have this eclipse that's like pushing us forward. We're going to be able to end some contracts, figure out what we want with our new contracts, because the South Node being in Scorpio 2021 to 2023, that was our exchanges. We balanced out over the previous couple years with the South Node in Libra. Now we're getting out of the contracts from those exchanges and those balancings. We get to be done. We're done now. We're done. So this is like clearing things out while simultaneously helping us figure out where we want to go, what is the power that we're looking for, and anything that we might need to know about that. Then Mercury goes retrograde. Okay, harvest then. There's going to be eclipse harvesting. Mercury and Neptune are doing some funky stuff at the end of the month, because then we get to the next eclipse. It's the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, closing out a cycle, and it's a new moon, so it's starting a new cycle. Closing out a cycle. It's a new moon, starting a new cycle. It's closing out a cycle because we're no longer in the North Node in Aries. Also, this is one of the crazy parts about that eclipse is that Mars right now that rules Aries is in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So the eclipse that's in Aries, the moon, is going to be ruled by the Mars in Cancer, which means it's going to be ruled by itself. What? And then immediately after that eclipse, dude, crazy. Immediately after that eclipse, Neptune moves into Aries. Like within 24 hours, I'm pretty sure. Neptune moves into Aries. And right before it moves into Aries, it's conjunct at the end of Pisces with Mercury retrograde. And then after Neptune moves into Aries and Mercury is in Pisces, Mercury is going to be, when it's conjunct with that Neptune, it's going to be right next to Venus retrograde, 1 degree off. It's going to be right next to the North Node. It's like a couple degrees off. And it's going to be right next to Saturn. It's like 6 degrees off. Hold on. I feel like I'm getting pushed out of a door of a place I don't want to be anymore. But they're like, you have to go. That's what I feel like with this energy of this upcoming eclipse season is like, okay, you have everything. That's the full moon. You have everything. You have your bags packed. You have everything you need. You got everything. Okay. Like the parents. I feel like there's parents around me saying that. Do you have everything? Please double check. Do you have everything? You got your bags packed, you got your chargers, you got you have it all. You have everything? Okay. Because then I see the parental figures I see me walking out of the door and having kind of like my back against the door, seeing what I'm walking into, and then being like, we have to close this now. We have to close the door behind you, right back here. And me just being like, okay, I get it. I understand. Whole new world. Okay, well then, if that's what I need to see, that's what we need to see here. That's fine by me. Oh my goodness gracious. That's like a hole. A hole? A hole is a hole? Okay. You're right, Bubba. Should we get off? Should we go spend some time chilling with each other? Yeah, he needs some mom time, so I'm gonna go spend time with him. That's crazy. More information to come on that here in the coming future, but for now, that's what I have on it. It's gonna be a crazy couple weeks, several weeks. Anyways, I'll say goodnight because this cat, he wants to fight, and sometimes you gotta let the cats fight, you know? Except I don't want to do that here, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, bye. Bye bye. Have a good night. Good night, good night, good night. Bye.